Hi, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, and good day to you all. Thank you for joining us. Your favorite show, the Niger We Want. Welcome to our show tonight. I've got Mr. Wale Olaitan here with me. Good evening, Mr. Wale Olaitan.
Dr. Vicky O, good evening to you and good day to our viewers wherever they are, watching us from.
Yes, and I just noticed your glasses.
Okay.
That's a new frame.
No, I've had it for some times, but you have a new frame and for whatever reason they don't get popular with you.
Mm,
At least this frame is just one of those. I had it and then for whatever reason
you
I
don't
keep
use it
on going
much.
back to my, two other
The
previous
old ones,
ones.
yeah.
Yes, so yeah, just let me just try it again tonight.
Why not? It looks good. It looks modern.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. How's your week been?
Um, yeah, I think I've been busy with soccer. The
Oh yeah,
female
you
World
follow
Cup.
the female soccer.
Um,
I don't.
yeah, so that really took part of my time. So I've had to juggle, doing work, the normal stuff.
Mm.
I'm just trying to stay connected to the World Cup. At least many of our people we actually went
To Brisbane.
to Brisbane, so they went there just following the Super Falcons, uh,
Mm.
yeah, especially the match against Australia and the last group match against uh, Republic of Ireland. So apart from
Mm.
soccer, just normal, a few trending issues, about Nigeria.
Nigeria,
Just
yes.
following that from time to time.
Which
Yeah.
we will be catching up on few of those today. Um,
Yes.
I'm just trying to get Egmont to see what's the hold up. Um, did you get to speak to Elvis at all?
No, not really. I've not. We've not spoken. I think after last week's show, I just want to be sure it was all right. I think
Mm,
I sent him
no.
a message.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait. I left the message in the group chats.
I
He
saw it. I
responded.
saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's been busy, busy, busy. Just actually got back from Brisbane not too long ago, few minutes ago actually, and straight to this. So I'm excited about what we will be talking about. Well, which is it's about our country and what's going on at the moment. So um yeah, we're going to add our voices to whatever is happening.
Yeah, I
So it's
think the president listened to you last week
mm,
because you were so particular about the need for the president to actually address the nation.
exactly, it's
Yes,
important.
you have very strong view on that particular topic. Like
Like
we're
I said,
talking about
somebody is watching our show and
yeah. So yes, it was just good. At least if a couple of days later, the president
mm,
actually addressed the nation. And I said, well,
mm,
Dr. Vicky will be glad because she was very particular on this particular
yeah.
aspect.
And what
Yeah.
what are your thoughts about is and what are people saying about what he said? Egbon, welcome to the show. We've missed you.
Thank you very much. I've been a victim of network palaver.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
just
yeah.
decided that today I had to leave the Abeokuta show, stay in Lagos for this so that I could have network.
Oh,
That's why
thank
Okay,
you.
I'm this lucky
that's
to be
very
on the
good.
show.
Yeah.
Thank you. You are welcome. We are welcome. With last week's topic, Awale and I just had to just keep pushing. We needed you there. We needed Elvis there, but we we
I
managed
missed you. I
through.
missed you. I missed,
We managed
I
through.
missed
So
you.
yeah. um,
Uh, uh, you are Australian hosts. Thank
Oh
you.
yes. Oh yes, yes, yes. And we saw, I hope Wale saw it too. I saw your new release.
I
That
saw
one.
that.
That one. Oh, oh pregnant. Oh heavy. Eh? Ever.
Yeah.
You did well, Sha. You did
Thank
well.
you so much. Thank you.
You
Thank you
did
so
well.
much.
You did well.
Thank you.
Maybe I need to hire you because I'm looking for somebody to record some praise and worship songs. Now that you've showed that you are not just acting alone, you're also a singer. Eh? I need somebody that
Welcome.
can go into a studio and we'll talk about that one later. Maybe I'll
No problem. No
yeah.
problem.
So you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. So we got
How are you
another.
people taking care of our falcons?
Ah, I think we should ask Wale because me, I'm not invested at all.
Wale, how are you taking care of our falcons?
Wale, are you here?
Hello. You can't afford to freeze this morning. No way.
2G.
Okay. Can you hear
You
me?
can't
Ẹgbẹ́
afford.
àti 2G
I don't want
ọ̀gbìn.
to talk. Don't let me talk yet.
Yeah.
I'm
Look,
waiting.
I've been very supportive on my own level. I've not been to any of the live matches. I've been very supportive on telly, watching the games. In terms of our people here, how they've been responding or supporting, many of our friends have been very supportive. I have friends that have been to all the games in Melbourne and even outside Melbourne. And everywhere they've been in Melbourne and in Brisbane, hundreds of Nigerian supporters are there to make them feel at home.
We feel it.
They've
We
been to a
feel
few
it on the
Nigerian
screen.
restaurants. Sorry?
Yeah, that's true. Go on. Go on.
Yeah, and they've been to a few Nigerian restaurants. I think they went to one where they had fufu and maybe some egusi soup. That was, I think, before their last
Right.
group match against the
Oh,
Republic of Ireland. So I think they feel welcome, they feel at home, and you can see how relaxed they are when they go out on a stroll, take some photos. I could see that the camp is not that tensed. I think they've got a coach that knows how to balance
yeah.
the real, the physical side of it and the psychological side of it. Because each time I see them, they feel relaxed, singing, dancing, and going for a walk around the city. So that shows, they are in good hands.
And
That's
not
nice.
just that alone. I just arrived back from interstate.
Okay, you were there. Okay.
At the airport, there were pictures of our girls, and that just made me. I looked at it and I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, this is good.
Wow.
Big
Wow.
boards,
Wow.
those big boards all over the place at the airport, outside the airport. The girls were there gracing the billboard. So I'm like, yeah, those are my babes.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Now.
So
Well, it's
yeah.
England next. It's England next. I can only wish us the very best.
Mm.
Because they are meeting quite a formidable team.
It's formidable.
That English team is tough, a bit tough. But I can only wish us the very best. I hope we'll get our acts together and be
Let's
able
hope
to
so.
do something, get
Well, the
something out.
girl seems to be making us proud, and not just in the soccer, in games that they few other games that Nigerian girls participated in. They've been
So far,
consistent.
so good. And of course, talking about what is trending, if Wale permits me to just move on straight to that.
Yeah,
Yes,
please do. Yeah.
Still on sports. The news that FIFA has decided to pay these girls directly instead
yes.
of payment through the association has been well received at home. It has been well received at home by the populace. I don't know about the powers that be, but unfortunately, it's not their decision now. It's that of FIFA, and I sincerely hope FIFA will carry this through because I know there will be some pressures and all that here and there. Frankly, the girls deserve to be paid directly. Let them have their money.
Definitely.
This middleman kind of thing, where monies disappear along the line, where the girls have to wait and beg, and only a fraction of what they are awarded is given to them, really should stop. This is the beginning of a new thing. Kudos to
Fantastic.
FIFA.
Definitely.
Yes, kudos.
So we'll give them a round of applause for that. Well done, FIFA.
Yeah.
Well done. Thank you.
And of course, now moving on to Niger. The crisis in Niger.
Before we move on to Niger, there's something I want us to quickly talk about before we move on to another thing. Still about the girls. What are your thoughts about the girl, the Muslim girl, I can't remember her name, that scored, and she was so joyous. She forgot whatever and just did what others would do when they're happy. She took off her tops. And there were some part of some people in the country that weren't happy about that. What are your thoughts around that?
Listen, celebration of a goal in soccer, that comes with it. It's a normal thing.
Exactly.
Right? The only punishment you get is a yellow card. There is nothing stopping you from doing it as long as you know that it's going to be followed with a yellow card. But it's an impulsive thing.
You forget.
It's Azizat Oshola, to be specific now. Listen, here is a girl in shorts. Half of her thighs all down the legs are exposed. From the neck up is exposed. I'm shying away from using the sensuous parts of sports is the fact that male or female feel free in their kits.
Exactly.
Listen, I'm not going to shy away from this. It is hypocrisy. It is hypocrisy of the highest order. And it only portrays us to the world that we are still maybe in the part of the fourth world. The outcry about it by a section of people who themselves do worse things, especially when it comes to their interaction and relationship with the opposite sex. It's even a good thing that thing happened out there, because maybe we would have had riots here if we were the ones hosting.
If it were to be in Nigeria,
For God's sake, why would I score a goal and then stop to think of how I will react?
I can't do this.
To think of how I will react, or to think of what someone will feel about my reaction to my victory, to my effort. It's all bladderdash, and they got a lot of backlash from the public here, frankly, because the Yorubas will say,
exactly.
No. So we're not all of the same stuff of that nature.
And I think I really had a very good response to that. And I remember something she wrote, or maybe she tweeted something, and say, even though her dad was disappointed in that celebration, but she felt strongly life is full of moments. Like life is full of moments, and that particular scene was one of those moments, in her life. And to me, that really summarized the whole thing. And I believe that's the moment that in her 70s, God give her good life and good health. She will look back. That image will become one of the iconic images of not just female soccer, but global celebration of a win, or what victory is all about in any game. And she captured, I just said, look, Dad was disappointed, maybe because of our Muslim upbringing. She said, well, Dad was disappointed, but life is full of moments. And to me, end of story. That really
that sums it up. Which of course quickly brings me to the welcoming ritual or celebration that's
okay.
Please, 2G, don't play up today.
I think what you said.
Sorry,
Okay.
sorry. I was on that aspect of the welcoming ritual that we have at the opening of matches in Australia, where you have the Aborigines blow the traditional horn and chants and all that. Listen, I was forced to recall this and paste and use it as one of my Facebook stories. That, listen, these are people that are proud of their culture. These are people that are ready to display and exhibit who they are to the world. If we had done it here, I promise you, some charlatans will be up in arms today, saying, "No, we are worshiping this. They are portraying us as blah 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 blah." Listen, we have a lot to learn. We have a lot to learn. We are self-appointed defenders of God, or rather, some of us are self-appointed defenders of God, as if God is so helpless. I don't understand some things. But let's come to the business of the day. Let's come to the business of the day.
Well,
that's what is trending for me.
Before we get to the business, you wanted to talk about Chad.
No, he said he wanted to talk about Niger.
Niger, sorry,
Niger.
Niger.
Oh, okay. Well,
can we do that briefly?
Yes, I didn't hear that.
Let's do that briefly, Egmon.
Okay, no, nothing much about it apart from the fact that there was a takeover, military takeover in Niger, and
2G. All right, Mr. Wale Olaitan, let's get into today's show. Knox Kudos as President Tinubu releases second list of ministerial nominees with 19 names. Shall we get started? Egmont will join us.
Are you there, Dr. Vicky?
Can you hear me?
Dr. Vicky?
Yes. So I said, let's get into today's topic, which is Kudos. Okay. Knox Kudos as President Tinubu releases second list of ministerial nominees with 19 names. Let's get into it. Egbon will join us later when he sorts out the IT issues.
Oh, well, thank you, Dr. Vicky. So if you just join us, your number one show, The Nigeria We Want. We're discussing good governance in Nigeria with this specific focus on Kudos. Knox as President Tinubu releases second list of ministerial nominees with 19 names. Courtesy of our producer, Mr. Alabi, I quickly present the background to today's topic. When President Bola Tinubu sent the first list of his ministerial nominees to the Senate on Thursday, 27 July, for screening and confirmation, it was greeted with applause across the country. For some Nigerians, the first set of ministerial nominees, who are 28 in number, are made up of a balanced mixture of career politicians and technocrats capable of delivering on assigned roles. As the senators were concluding screening of the first set of ministerial nominees on Wednesday, 2nd of August, the president sent the second list with 19 names, bringing the total to 47, the return of democracy in 1999. Nigerians received the second batch of the ministerial nominee review. Some Nigerians argue that the second set of ministerial nominees is populated by tired former government capacity to deliver. So, how confident are Nigerians about the ability of the incoming cabinet to help President Tinubu deliver on his renewed hope agenda? So, I'll go straight to Mr. Yemi Shodimu, who is back with us now. Mr. Shodimu.
All right. We can't hear you. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can you hear me now?
Yes.
How
Okay.
confident are we?
Yeah.
How confident are we? That's the question. Am I right?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah,
You want a blunt
that's
answer?
correct.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Go
correct. Yeah.
for it.
How
We are
confident?
not. We are not confident. We are not confident. We are not
How
confident because
confident
there are
are
no.
we about the
That we are
ability?
not.
How confident are we about the ability of the ministerial? Yeah, I think the next. Dr. Vicky, can
Hello,
you
can you
hear
hear
me?
me
I
now?
think is it the
Yes,
network
we
on
can.
also on my side, on Egbon's side alone?
Okay, can you? We are not confident. We are not confident that they can deliver. Seriously, there are no surprises in the list. For starters, there are no surprises in the list. I think we're still adopting the approach of compensating. Hello,
Yeah, we can hear you.
I think we're still approaching the business of government with the attitude of compensating people for their patronage, for compensating people for patronage. Well, I will tell you that there are a few names, and I'm going to refrain. I'm going to refrain from mentioning personalities here. I'm going to refrain from mentioning personalities here. But the fact remains that the bit of what we have seen in the screening exercise, some of it, is not something we want to be proud of showing to the world, that this are going to be our leaders. Some, I'm not, I'm being careful about my choice of words here. I've seen some obviously disappointing parts of the screening exercise that you wonder what exactly is our problem. A nation blessed with so much human capacity, a nation blessed with so much talent, a nation blessed with a people that are willing to move this entity to the next level. So many intellectuals, so many depth, so many people with depth. And if within us, we still find it convenient to put a name of a person who could defend passing, having 2 credits in qualifying for a university education, there is something wrong with us. There is something wrong somewhere. There is something obviously wrong somewhere. But that is what we have right now. And I can tell you here that these guys will scale through the screening. They will. So if we are not careful in some of the aspects that we are into, and don't be surprised that the same person with 2 credits that said he had university education with 2 credits will end up being our minister for education. Wale, hey, we are in trouble, though. But some of the names are obviously brilliant guys. Guys with a record to show.
Well, record as in track
performance,
record?
in achievements,
Okay,
past records, past records.
Mm-hmm.
There are some of them with obvious that you can't challenge their past records. You can't. Some, but 47 is out of this world. Not now.
There are two names there that I want to check. I don't know. I really don't know any of them, but there are two names there that are screaming out. The first one is Abubakar Kyari. Is that the guy, the police leader?
No.
Oh.
No. That one is still inside.
Is that one is still, isn't it Kuje?
That one is still that one is still inside.
Oh, praise the Lord.
Inside life.
Inside,
Somebody
yes.
shout hallelujah.
Oh no. If that was a name, if that was the same person, I probably would have been on my way to the Sahara Desert by now.
Because the Sahara Desert will be better.
No, I couldn't. There's no way I would have taken that now.
Okay, the other one is Adebayo Adelabu.
Yes.
So you were saying before about compensating people. So that's Adebayo Adelabu, the Adelabu old man that passed a while back. Is that the same a child to him, or
it's obviously, I think, maybe a grandson or something. It's in that lineage. Why I cannot fault Adelabu's bit. I said I was going to refrain from me, but Dr. Vicky is pushing me into this now.
Sorry.
I won't jump at faulting Adelabu's bit, because that it was a former deputy governor of Central Bank.
All right. Yep.
It was for you to get to that level, you must have something upstairs. He ran for the governorship of Oyo State, I think for the second time now or so, which he lost. And this may eventually be a kind of compensation for money and time spent and all that. But however, I think he's sound enough. That's him. I think he's sound enough to be able, he deserves that level of nomination. A former deputy governor of Central Bank deserves that level of nomination.
To be there, yes. Yeah. All right. Thank you for clarifying that. I really don't know any of them, like
We try and go through the lists later in these discussions, especially around some of the names and ways. So I go to Dr. Vicky now. This has to do with the preparedness of the government. The President Tinubu presented himself as someone who is really prepared and ready to hit the ground running from day one. But the president actually sent the list to the Senate with just 2 days to the constitutional deadline. I'm talking about so if you've been campaigning and moving around the country and you really prepared, I would think that, and he actually said that they will actually hit the ground running from day one. It shouldn't take him that long to get the names. And also, so what do you think about, and we want to relate that to, is how the level of preparedness and how ready is actually, is the president to actually govern? Because there are so many promises and some of these signs. I don't want to sound very skeptical, but there are signs now that I bit a reminiscence of what we saw under a Buhari government that we thought was going to start from day one, and in his own case, it took him 6 months.
It took Buhari 6 months.
6 months, yeah.
How long has it taken this guy? It's still a bit of improvement. So we're being cautious. I've been cautious, and I'm trying not to put my hope up so that my hope will not be dashed like it was under Buhari. But as human, as somebody who had moved into a new job or who have moved into a new business, or who have started something new, and you have all these plans and ideas about how it's going to work, and then the reality when you are faced with it is not what you are expecting. It's not what you thought it would be. So when you are now there, it's not as straightforward as you expect it to be. That's my thought. And I like to give people the long rope. I've hired new staff who have the experience and they get into the job, and it's not as straightforward. You have to settle, you have to, and it's the same thing with this guy. It's not, yes, he had a plan, but when you still compare him, what he's done so far in terms of presenting these names and stuff like that, it's still quicker than our Mr. Goslow.
He's done it in 2 months compared to
Egon's best friend, right? So let's give him that. All right. And I don't want us to have our hopes up and get it dashed, but at the same time, we're all human. It's a new system, new thing, and not just that. When you are dealing with Nigerians, it's not as easy as when you deal with other people. Everybody wants to stir the pot. Everyone, I did this, my father did this, and I did this. So for him to be able to still try and get those names and those numbers down to that amount, I'm sure that will have been like, even climbing a bigger mountain would have been easier than doing this with so many Nigerians that feel so entitled because of the money they might have spent, because of the time they might have spent, because of whatever. So for him to have gotten this and still, we don't know whether they're going to deliver, but I'll still say, yeah, maybe not as quick as he presented it to that it's going to be, but I'll still say, yep, I'll give him 60%.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Vicky. I can see Egbon, eager to say something. I could see a smile. I could see. So I will give Egbon just maybe 60 seconds before I move to your next question. What do you think?
I'll quickly say this. Say this. I am on the same page with Dr. Vicky. Okay. You cannot imagine the amount of lobbying, the amount of pressure that went into getting to this point, this decision. I once worked with a governor in Ogun State, and he said something that I will never forget, that for every appointment as a governor that you make, for every single appointment that you make about again, he mentioned 500 enemies for everyone. For every single appointment, you make about 500 enemies of people who believe that that person shouldn't have been. They should have been.
It should be me. It should be my son.
Should have been. I should be my daughter. Should be, that kind of a thing. That obviously went into it, and but it is not an excuse. It is not an excuse to put in people whose records, whose CV you cannot defend. It has a far-reaching effect. We'll get to that point in this discussion. It has a far-reaching effect, even outside the issue of delivering on the job. But we'll get to that. Don't let me take too much of time on this.
Okay, let me ask you your direct question now. There are 9 former governors on the list of the 47 ministerial nominees. Mr. Shodimu.
Yes, please. I didn't hear you said there are 9 former governors on the list, yes? Sorry, I didn't get your question.
Yeah, Wale's 2G is playing up.
Okay. Oh, I hope this is not 1G.
You pass your own from last week to him. Let me see if I have got the
So,
question.
Wale, we don't want to repeat the question, please.
Okay, there are 9 former governors on the list of the 47 ministerial
Yeah.
nominees. What does this mean for the administration? 2 minutes, Egma.
Listen, these
Hello,
governors
Dr.
are
Vicky.
Yeah, we can hear you.
these
I think I
governors. Let me
lost
tell
you
you.
for about 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, we lost you, so I've
But she
read.
has repeated your question.
Yes. Do you
Can
want
I
to
go
read?
on?
Okay.
Listen, these
Okay, go ahead, please. Yeah.
governors are a pressure group on their own. They are a pressure group, and I'm not shocked that we have 9 of them in there. Both those who performed and those who didn't, and probably those who hope to in their next life. They are there. And it is all still part of the pressure we are talking about. These are people who sit on the neck of Mr. President to get their own piece of cake. Let me put it that way. And I mean, if we go back to to the states some of these people administered, you will hear varied opinions on their performance. And I don't know. It still boils down to hopefully they will do something. But there's a key thing here. A lot of this thing depends on, I mean, the buck stops on the table of the president. It stops there. And if you appoint somebody that is not delivering and you do not have the guts to sit him up or get him to sit up or kick him out, then the fault remains yours. Don't also forget the fact that a lot of these governors, ex-governors, are loaded financially. They are. And I'll tell you, they'll buy their way through a lot of things, including keeping away those who should have been nominated within the party hierarchy. So that we have 9 of them there, well, let's hope they will lead the way. Some of them did quite well in their states, but I'm not too sure all of them can be lined and asked to walk the streets of their states today. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that.
Thank you, Mr. Shodimu. So talking about the number 9, I've gone through that list earlier today, and I think I counted 9 females on that ministerial list. So 9 out of 47. So I go to Dr. Vicky now as an advocate for women and women empowerment and the right of a girl child to do better and equality, in society. So what is your take on this, Dr. Vicky? How will you describe the women representation on that list? 9 out of 47. Number one, is that good enough for us, or can we aspire to do better as a country?
Of course, we
Dr.
can
Vicky.
do better. Of course, we can do better, even much better. Out of 40, is it 49, 45, right? No, 47.
47.
47 would have only 9. Only 9. That's not good enough. But unfortunately, I can't really say much because I really don't know any of these ladies. And I'm
Let me
sorry, I should have done my research, but
look. I won't put you on the spot. I will quickly go through their names. Maybe Egbon can help us out. I don't know.
yeah.
For me as well, there is an
Hmm.
Aranatu Musawa from Katsina State. There's Doris Uzoka from Imo State. There is Onkeruka Oyejosha from Abia State. There is Stella Okotete from Delta. There is Uju Oraneye from Anambra. There is Iman Sulaiman Ibrahim from Nasarawa. There is also Miriam Shetima from Kano. Who else I've got on the list? If there's female, there is Lola Adejon from Lagos. Maybe Egba can tell us about her. Lola Adejon from Lagos. There is who else is on that list? Yeah, I do. To be honest, I don't know anyone. I can't really say anything about any of those. Egmont, do you know anyone?
Let
Will you be
me
able to ask
let me say
Dr.
this.
Vicky?
Let me say this. I can't rule out the CV of any of these ones you have said. But from whatever angle you want to look at it, the figure 7 is a shameful token out of 47.
Definitely 9 out of 47.
No.
No. The figure 9 out of 47 is a shameful token.
It's shameful.
It is. Because in this country, there are women who are worth their salt. There are women who are who can hold their own on any form of platform. And for God's sake, I want to say this. I'm taking Desiane out of this statement.
Please.
Women are lesser thieves in our society. That is not to say that theft is permissible. But I'm telling you that, listen, institutions here that women have aided have done brilliantly well. They are more compassionate. They are more committed. They are more detailed. They are. And I don't know how we ended up having so many men and just 9 women. I don't know. And I dare to say that maybe a number of this, even a fraction of this 9, are probably politicians or daughters of somebody or wives of somebody. We could do a lot better. We could do a lot better. And which brings me to even still going back to the screening. I am trying to remember the particular nominee now, the name, who cried because she remembered that she was from a poor background. And that was enough for senators to ask her to take a bow and go. Hello. We're talking about service to a nation here. Do you know the percentage of Nigerians that are from poor backgrounds? Was that enough to ask whoever, to the nominee, to take a bow and go without answering any question? I don't understand some things.
It was a mixed it was a missed opportunity. Like in any, I guess, society, that would have been an opportunity for that person to be able to make a very loud statement and tell to young people out there, to any young person out there, regardless of your socio-economic background, if I'm here today as a ministerial nominee for our country, then you also can do it. Go for it, boys, girls. You can do it. Keep also your dreams and aspire, to be whatever you want to be. that is what should have done, not turning it to an emotional stuff.
Listen, for God's sake, I'm an actor. I could do that and get away with it. I felt offering her an handkerchief and a glass of water should have been the best you could do. Let her calm down and then get back to business of the day. And just as you rightly said, it was a missed opportunity. And this is a lady that is obviously well read.
Anatu Musawa.
That is her name. She's well read. Listen, we've forgotten at that point in time that young ones were watching. The youth were watching. The future of this nation was out there watching. Would you do that at a job interview and then just get that job and then go? I think we are not still serious. I think we are not still serious. Seriously.
Okay, thank you, Egbon. So I'll go to Dr. Vicky now, still on that, women and women representation. From what I've seen so far, I think that the diaspora,
Wale, kind,
both men and women.
Can you say it again, please?
Yeah,
you broke up there.
Yeah, I just wanted to, hear your views around. I was thinking maybe there'll be more diaspora representation on the ministerial list in terms of our achievers, males. As far as I know, and I stand to be corrected, I can't really see any obvious one.
What do you think?
Dr.
The thing is, we in the diaspora, we make so much noise. We are visible. We talk about issues. We're interested. We're invested because we want a home to go back to. We want a place to call our home. We want to belong, even though we are thousands of kilometers away. That doesn't mean that we've forgotten where we're from. That's still home. That's still our culture. That's still our language. That's still everything that we grew up to know. And we talk about, and that's why we do this show. I mean, this is our time, this is our energy, this is our, everything. I know if we're doing our care work, Wale, we know how much we'll be earning every hour that we're here. But no, we left that because this is our thing. I mean, this gets us connected back home. And just like we have this show, we have thousands of this kind of shows and many other avenues whereby those in the diaspora, they are getting their voices out there. But just like every other thing in Nigeria, it's like, you guys, you're okay. The ones that feel entitled to those positions, they'll scream it down. They will yell it out. Wale, you don't need it. What are you doing? Vicky, what are you doing? You don't need it. We need it. So even though maybe the president may have 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the diaspora, but of course they won't let them come in because of that feeling of entitlement. So that's just my own thought around that.
Thank you, Mr. Yemi Shodimu. Do you think there's a place or there's lost opportunity in terms of diaspora representation on the ministerial list?
Because of we have unknown soldiers, we have unknown police. There's what you call the unknown politicians. Going through that list, it may be a bit early for us to say A or B is not from diaspora. That's that.
Okay.
But I'll tell you this. If we do not have that desired level of presentation, it is a loss to the nation. Because one of the essence of letting your people go out there and acquire all the knowledge and get exposed is that you give them a platform to come back and let it impact on the society.
Exactly.
If for any reason we do not have that desired level, it is. But I'll tell you also, people from diaspora have had very, very rough treatment from politicians here. And I'm saying this, and I stand to be corrected, I stand to be challenged. They suck them in. They take money from them.
They use them.
A lot of money. They use them. They promise them. And they ditch them a lot of times.
Definitely.
When you see someone from diaspora make it onto some of this list and things like that, most times it's because there's a godfather got somewhere. So Wale, if you do not have a godfather, the chances of you getting on such or getting such offers is very, very slim. On a lighter note, outside the example, which it's been in the news, of one of such people from diaspora who came here and wanted to run for, I think the chairmanship of a local government or something like that. And they took so much money from him. And then a group of people presented themselves as spiritualists who had the direct access to God via their prayers and all that. And they took money from this guy. The money ran into millions. Eventually, he lost to probably a lesser educated, lesser exposed person. He got the police to arrest these spiritualists. And presently they are in court. that is just a bit of the things that happen here. So what I'm saying in essence is, if we do not, because we have so many brains out there. Listen, I don't have to leave this platform to cite 2 examples, for instance, here. But if we fail to utilize what we have, if we fail to annex this brilliance as portrayed by a lot of our Nigerians in diaspora, a number of them, quite a number of them, it is our loss. We'll keep marching on the spot instead of forward. That's my opinion.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Shodimu. We are gradually getting to the end. So, my last question would be around some analysts have described the list of 47 ministerial nominees as too big for a government trying to cut costs. How will you react to that? A government that is trying to cut costs, and then we have all these 47 ministers. They're going to have special advisors and assistant as advisors. Is it not too big? Is it the time for us to run a very big, expensive government? I'll start with Dr. Vicky.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Dr. Vicky.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
All right. Yeah, this is not the time to run an expensive government. There's so much going on at the moment that the focus should be how to ease, all this hardship on poor people, Nigerians. You know, that should be more of the focus than having, so many ministers. And it's just not minister. This one person will have how many attaches. We're talking about special advisor, this special advisor, that. Even the wife will have his own special advisor to that. At the end of the day, you'll be having like 500 people attached to one minister, and we have almost 100 of those. So times, come on, it's crazy. So I'm hoping that he, there will be a way to tighten the whole thing. Yes, we'll put you there, but everybody should have this number of attaches, not like open book, open check, everyone just doing whatever they want. There should be a way around all that. It shouldn't be business as usual, because the landscape had already changed, economically, in every way. Things have changed. So we need to do it to match what is going on currently. They need to do it, but Tinubu need to do it in a way that people are suffering. Don't let us put more onto them by trying to please everybody, by giving them positions here and there. And at this, by doing that, one person is having like 700 people attached to them. That shouldn't be the case. It should be different moving forward. Wale?
Is
I think
obviously
Wale,
frozen.
Wale's 2Gs is really messing us up today. Can you
let
hear
me
me,
let
Wale? Yes, Egbo,
while
please add your voice
while
to
we're
it.
waiting for Ali.
Mm,
In my early days in school, my early school days, we used to play a game, and it went, do as I do, don't laugh. Do as I do, don't laugh. I guess if the game were to be played today, the lyrics will be different. It will be more like, don't do as I do. Don't do as I do. If you're asking Nigerians to tighten their belts, if you are saying that the times is going to be rough for now, and we hope for paradise soon after, we should lay examples. We should lay examples. I thought we were going to make efforts to make the cabinet smaller
mm,
and more effective. But now that we have taken that decision to make it even wider and bigger, we just hope that the benefits will be wider, the benefits will be bigger. We are keeping our fingers crossed. And I said something earlier that there is the need that the far-reaching effect of some of these things, especially on the young ones, we should always consider such. We really should always consider such. Because when a young undergraduate or even graduate is struggling and battling with the basics of life to make ends meet and all that, to make something out of his training, to ensure that he impacts the society. If he sees that, why are you struggling this much? A man with two credits will eventually become your minister.
really. Mm,
It has a dampening effect on enthusiasm.
mm,
It does. Where women will believe that we do not have a chance or our chances are limited, does not help a society. It doesn't help a society. And I just hope and pray that I hope we make a headway out of this,
mm.
because right now that's what we have. Wale.
Thank you very much. Looking at the time and looking at the technology challenges that we've had tonight. I will just hand over the baton to Dr. Vicky to close the show, and in our closing remarks, if you could just present the kind of expectations in terms of, on behalf of Nigerians, what should Nigerians expect from the new ministers? Over to you, Dr. Vicky.
Wale, could you, technology challenges is a bit flowery. You want to call it the way it is from your end, 2G. 2G. Dr. Vicky.
I don't know what's going on tonight.
Wale, let's blame Egbon because he had this 2G experience last week. He passed it on this week, so let's blame it on him. But it's been a great evening. Us talking about this thing about ministerial positions and stuff. I want to say very big thank you to Egbon for making it to the show, and thanks Mr. Wale Olaitan for a good job. Well done, despite the 2G issues. Thank you. And all our viewers, we appreciate you for joining us this evening. Yes, at the end of the day, we just need to keep hanging on to hope. Hope for better days to come. Hope that this man, that one way or the other is a leader, he will be, he will do the right thing by us. And having those ministers, their names there, it's not a thing. What will be the thing, and the main thing, is when they get there and they actually do the job. There's a saying in Yoruba that foriti, maybe Yoruba or in the Bible. Sorry, Egbo is having that look. I mean, that's in the Bible, sorry, not Yoruba. Okay, so we just, being there is one thing, but you need to now do the job. You need to do the job that the Nigerians, because the way things are now, we all want change. We all want things to change for better. We're open and we're hanging. It's like the last shred of hope that we're hanging on to, and we don't want to be disappointed. Our producer is showing us few things. Breaking news: President Tinubu just wrote to the Senate to withdraw nomination of Mariam Shetty from Kano, one of the female ministerial nominees. Is there any reason why? Do we know why, Festus? He just wrote to the Senate asking for withdrawal. No details yet, okay? We'll follow that news. So something is going on. Well, that's what we want, action. And if this person is being asked to be removed, why? Is there something they know that we don't know? Or is it a paper for somebody that needs to get there?
We'll get to know. We
want to know. But it's been a great time together, Egbo. Hopefully we'll come back again next Friday, whereby we'll discuss another great topic. It's been fantastic having you guys here. And we have Tolu Felicity, our regular supporter. Thank you for being here. So we'll be back again next Friday, same time, same place. But till then, you all remain blessed. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
The Nigeria we want. Great Nigeria. Giant of Africa. Nigeria we want. Great Nigeria. The Nigeria we want. With Vicky O, Yemi, Shodimu, Wale Olaitan, Elvis, Nwachukwu. The Nigeria we want. Great Nigeria on Vicky O show. The Nigeria we want. Great Nigeria. Giant of Africa.